Hey everybody, this is Grace, and it's a warm day today here in a suburb of Dallas, north of Dallas. Today's May 14th, it's 11:42 a.m. 2025. I'm under the shade, and like I said, 11:42 a.m. My SUV registers 93 degrees. We're supposed to break records today. So, anyway, what I want to do and talk about in this video is becoming disgusted last night. And, well, late in the evening, I guess it was. And whenever it was, just seeing that one of the people, one of the E-Beggars, the ones that do it online, they come up with some grand stories, and they just continue, and they may have started off legit, but they have this horrible thing going on in their lives, and before you know it, that's all they're doing. They seem to find out that people are going to give them money, so they just keep doing it, keep finding things over and over again to get their audience to give them money. They get it going to practically scripted ways of doing it, master manipulators, manipulating their audience. But, okay, there's more than one doing that right now, but there's just one of those, all of those that do this over all these years that I've been online. I had my first computer in 1982, but as far as those making videos, let's say it's around 11 years of seeing them, and they all disgust me. But one in particular, right now, over the years I've done videos on these. The one now, just so disgusting. Everything about her, it's a woman, is very just despicable. And how she smirks and does other nonverbals to let people know that she sees herself as superior. Seriously, let's think about this. Can you imagine if it was for somebody, if it were just so plainly put out there what they do, if they were to say something like, I am a single woman. I'm not. Okay, so, I'm a single woman, and I'm tired of having it rough. I have a certain lifestyle. I want, they go and say that they have a certain lifestyle that they want to live, and they want their audience to pay for it. Now, that would be the honest truth. That nobody's going to do that. Can you imagine it, though? Okay, seriously. Can you imagine if somebody were that bold? But no, they do it in a sneaky, manipulative way. They may even take out their Christian Bible, say they're Christians, and at some point take out the Christian Bible and read from it. Show how they show once. They wake up in the morning, they read the scriptures, or play Christian music, to try to set the mood for people to be more charitable. And they could play anything, like, 4th of July, they might play some, national anthem or something. And whatever it is to manipulate. And then they smirk because they truly believe they're superior that everybody watches them as stupid. And that they're superior to all of them, and that they deserve giving money to them. But can you imagine somebody saying, okay, let's say, they say that they want to eat better. They want to go out to restaurants instead of having to cook. And they want you to pay for it. So you, the audience, I'm going to replace audience with you. The word you. It doesn't mean you. I've always been like this, I'm telling you. But they want to, but instead they can lie. So they don't have enough money for groceries, while all the while they're gaining a lot of weight. They say it month after month, they're gaining a lot of weight, like say 100 pounds. during this time. Yeah. Somebody who does something like that. Now, the honest way would say, I just want to eat better. I want you to pay for it. I want to go out whenever I want to go out, like I was saying. They want to go out and do whatever they want to go do. They want to go to movies, and you pay for it. They want to do their hair. They want to do their nice clothing, and get a lot of dental work done for them. Maybe they have kids. They want their dental work for the real expensive stuff for their children too. They want you to pay for it. I mean, can you imagine the nerve if somebody were to say that straight out? Okay, and over all these years, I've seen some too, who wanted all kinds of things like furnaces, and then they never showed the furnace. As their grandmother or their mother, whomever really it's winter and they don't have the furnace, bit the dust. We don't have furnaces here, I don't think. But it bit the dust and they need to replace it. I have no idea how much a furnace would cost, but they need to replace it. Instead, what they show is that they went and had their nails done and their hair done, because it's just been so bad and rough on them that they needed a little break and needed to be pampered. Can you believe people do stuff like this? E-Beg, beg their audience, find a way, oh, woe is me, just to get money so they can go and do all this frivolous stuff. And be dishonest the whole while. That's a scam. It's a con artist. That's to me, that's a scam. Just total all-around scam. People use the word scam for other reasons. That's what I'm going to use it for. And they're con artists. And I'm really just down low life. I didn't say low class. I said low life. But, I mean, it goes on and on that they find so many different things to e-beg for. The ones that lie and say that they're, like the woman said, her husband left her with 2 young children and she didn't have enough money to survive. And it was all a lie. The one who said she had cancer, it was all a lie. To get people to help her, it was all a lie. Just over and over and over again over these years. I'm not saying which social media, they make videos, they can put them on their own. Put them anywhere that's allowed. And I never name the channel name or the whatever they call it. Different places, I call them different things, but no. Or the person's name, no, nothing like that. I'm not. That to me is gossip. That to me is another one. The people who do that so they can make money too. They call themselves reaction channels when they're getting funds too. So they're just as much a grifter or whatever they want to call them. So, yeah. Okay. Now I got really disgusted by one of them. Just all the stuff that this one person does is so. It's creepy, really cringeworthy. She's just so much, just too much. And they shouldn't be doing any of this at all, but just demand, in that woe is me way. But there's one thing that I don't think I have mentioned, not exactly, is that I know what tends to happen, because there's sometimes like, I said 11 years, 10 to 11 years, of seeing these pop up every time you turn around, practically. That does happen. I have actually wondered, it sounds like between an A and an O, if you know what I mean. If there is actually a group of people who go out looking for this kind of stuff, and that's what they enjoy doing, is battling against these people who are these kind of, you know, e-beggars, swindlers, so many names for them, charlatans, the ones who are, you know, all different kinds. So, but anyway, I have wondered if there's a group, or more than one group, and that they really enjoy, like I said, enjoy taking these people down. And I'll tell you why. Is because usually whenever I see one and I start making, you know, videos about that person, like I said, I never name the channel name, the person's name, the person's whatever, social media, whatever. Never really mention all that. Well, sometimes I do, but I never mention their name though, in their channel name, and something like that. But I do notice that these at least one starts attacking, you know, trying to take them down. And it just, because I'm not going to be the only person with, you know, who's good at discernment. I'm not going to be the only person, of course not, who sees it for what it is and speaks out. I talk about the behaviors. I talk about the, you know, how it all seems to be so scripted. And you know, like I said, right now there's more than one doing it. Sometimes I just blend them all together. I just, you know, like as if it's just one person. But it's the same kind of thing, like as if, like I said, as if it's scripted. So, but for some reason, anyway, yesterday I got this feeling, and there's nothing to back it up. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, because I got disgusted by this one person, and I unsubscribed to her, you know, because I was watching just to see how many of these things that she's gonna do. But she's so disgusting, so despicable. I mean, the way she smirks, she's smirking like all the time, and fake, so fake. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, just how low down she is, just in everything. Lies, and I mean, some of it is so obvious. Like I said, you know, to say you don't have money for groceries and yet you're gaining like 100 pounds. I don't make fun of people the way they are, though. You know, I don't make fun of people, small, large, anything. I'm talking about the lie she's talking about, the lies she's doing. To say she doesn't have money for groceries yet, the evidence is right there in front of your face. You know, when somebody gains so much weight that you can no longer see their neck because of their double chin, and they're going to lie to your face. And you know what I'm saying, online. Lie with their face, that face, and say they don't have enough money for groceries. Really? I mean, and then look at the audience with a smirk, like superiority. You know, they're superior. There's the whole superiority complex thing going on. They're superior to all of them, and all their audience is so stupid. You know, even say things that is so obviously that they're talking about their audience, but some people, the way they do it, they're so manipulative. The way they do it, only some of the audience would think that it's about them. And they're saying it about all the audience. The others would say, oh, they're just talking about those people. And those people would be the ones that don't think the same way as they. They don't praise this person. You see what I'm saying? They don't praise this person. They see it for that person for what she is. I keep having to cut it off because, oh my goodness, today I'm serious. Started making a video before this one, and I kept whistling and wheezing and whistling. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be 103 today. Our first breaking records, first time. I don't know how long. If that was a record to have, they said this is unusual. have triple digits this early in May 14th. Okay, this is Texas, but come on. Much of Texas, especially San Antonio area, this is north of Dallas, but especially San Antonio and Austin is really being hit bad. And one other place, I forgot the name of that one. L something, I don't know, I don't remember. But anyway, you know, I just yesterday, like I was saying, that I just got this feeling that these people, this group, I've always wondered about this group. Is there a group or more than one group or whatever it is that says, enough is enough, and they take that person down legally? They just, however they do it, I don't know. But usually they change their attitude a little bit. Well, it can be different ways. Sometimes they go away. Sometimes they stop, go away. Change their genre totally, go away, come back, different genre. Saying they found the lights, they saw the light, the white light. And they, you know, not that white light, but they, you know, came out of the darkness and into the light, and they're going to change their ways, and they're no longer going to be this way, and they apologize to everybody. How sincere it is, I don't know. But I'm not talking about the people who try to take them down. I'm talking about the people they're taking down. Okay. But I like I said, I had a feeling yesterday that this is going to happen to this one who is so obnoxious. Unbelievable. Just, oh man. Because, I don't know, you know, like I get recommended channels that show me that they're doing that. I'm not out searching for them, so, and I get those recommended. Right now, it's somebody who really, it was, I've been trying to figure out how many years ago, it was a few years ago, was doing bad to a lot of people. She was a copycat. She'd take, including me, take things about anybody that she thought sounded good or whatever, and she made it about her. She even stole one of my life stories and made it her own. I mean, talk about your low life. You know, really, seriously. And anyway, she apparently ticked off some young women. I think I know which young women, because they were the ones that were originally recommended to me. And they said, enough of you. So they're attacking her now, but she sees it as a compliment. Some of those do, some of them see it as a compliment, but this one, she is just the newest one, not the one that those people are attacking, but this newest one. Oh my gosh, it disgusted me so much. Like I said, I unsubscribed and said, oof, I don't want to, you know. And this is not the first time though with anybody, and it's not the first time with her. But the other one was, you know, not as deep, because when you see somebody smirking and doing all those nonverbals that show, I am better, even the verbals, the voice, like she's superior, and she means this. She thinks this, and also breaking the law. It is the law. But you know, traffic, driving, like turning on a red, turning left on a red light, just stopping right in the middle of the road. I mean, I've seen this happen myself. You know, different people doing this kind of thing, not just this one, not just this one woman, but they're doing things like just stopping, and you know, like I was delivering. There was these fleet people, I used to call them, and I would say this more than ever, you know, more than with anybody else. They seemed to think like the disabled parking spots were okay for them to park in and turn their caution lights on. when they were not disabled, so they could just run in and get their order and come back out and go. I saw it so many times, so many times. Also, just parking, just stopping right in the middle of the road. I remember the time I'm sitting there going, for real? Seriously? You know, people park on both sides of the roads in some neighborhoods like mine. Oh, I can't stand it. It narrows down a 2-lane road to one, and you have to stop practically to worm your way through there. And just imagine somebody stopping right there in the road to go deliver something to somebody's front door. Just right in front of you, just stops. They don't know how long it's going to take them to, in case the person wants to talk to them or whatever. It doesn't matter to them. It's all about them. Imagine somebody who does that on a road and gets ticked off, pardon my word, but gets ticked off because the person behind them is honking at them and thinks that that person has the problem. The person who should be honking at them. And the person who doesn't just park right in the middle of the road. You know, oh, you have the problem. Like they on the road and everybody's supposed to know it. You know, somebody who cuts down their audience. Let's go jump to that one again. You know, saying that, oh, I live in such a wonderful place, you know, on this planet, and I know none of you do. Whoa. Yeah, I live in a nice place, but do you hear me say, I know none of you do. So maybe you just enjoy my life. I have such a wonderful life. You know, acting so superior, cutting down their audiences. You know, like I said, it's not just one person. These I can combine other people. It's just, oh my goodness, some of it is just so unbelievable. Okay, some people go to such great lengths, you know, like one of them, another one, like I said, these, I'm kind of combining them here, so, has just decided to go missing. Actually, 2 of them. But one of them I don't think is this type yet. But they just missing. I mean, nobody's reporting that they're missing. They're just not there. Like if somebody consistently makes videos and they're not saying that there's anything going on with me, like right now, you know, my health, I might not be able to. It'll be next month, or you never know with my health. I mean, with anybody's health, you never know. And they might be gone for a little while, you know, or something like that. But they weren't saying anything, either one of them, like their health was, you know, really bad or anything like that. They just, where are you? MIA. This. So, but how about ones that copycat somebody else? They see that person is complaining about this, that, and the other, so they use that to try to continue to E-Beg. Say, oh, I've got this going wrong with my health. They hear somebody else's story and use it. It's disgusting. This, seriously, like I said, it's a combination of what a bunch of people do. So, yeah, but can you imagine just many of these things in one person? But like I said, it's scripted. There are other ones who've done all these things and more, or picked and choose which ones fit their scene and use that. But somebody using somebody else's health condition, you know, using that because they really had actually, imagine somebody who actually said that anytime anybody makes any complaint about her, it's not always females, by the way, not at all, not always female, but if anybody makes any complaint about her, she's just going to do it more often and to an extreme. And so her videos are basically all that and then some. You know, all those that you can say, yeah, I could see somebody telling you that you were wrong for doing that, so she's going to do it more. Because it's disgusting, she's going to do it more. an extreme. What grade is she in? You know, what grade is she in? But kids don't act that bad. I worked with a lot of kids in my life, yeah. And I mean, of course there probably are a child or two here and there. But really, they seem to be more mature than this. You know, to do something like that. Just so disgusting, so disgusting. But like I said, I've always wondered about if there is some group. And actually, I think there was one time somebody hinted at it. Maybe they were wondering, just like me, is it a group or a few groups? And, but something is telling me that I think it's because when people get that far, they go that far, and they're so cocky. And, you know, they're nonverbals, verbals, like they're superior, and, you know, they're going to continue no matter what anybody says. And that some people say, it's kind of like, you know, not exactly a, well, it's a form of justice, not vigilante, is it? Not that far, not that extreme, but, you know, societies will take care of themselves. Especially if they see somebody who's using and abusing other people. You know, whether we think to ourselves, you know, everybody can do what they want to do. Not really. You know, there are people who are going to say, no, you're ripping off people who are on fixed incomes, you know, elderly people, you know, who don't even have a couple dollars to send you, but they just try to make it. And then you complain about it, you know, this kind of thing. You know, so there are some people who say, no, I'm putting my foot down and we're going to, you know, make it tough for you. We're going to tell everybody to watch out for you. You know, that kind of people. And then, of course, you know, they go, oh, well, you know, I can do this to you. I can do that to you. Whomever it is, are you going to figure it out? You're going to find out who these people are? Really? I've always wondered about that. How are they going to find out who these people are? You know, like I said, I don't even know. I've been around 11 years on YouTube itself. I mean, like I said, first computer in 1982. So, yeah, I know a bit about, you know, I was one of those pioneer women on the internet. And I actually, before then, linked my computer to other people's computer through Telnet, Procom, and Procom. Was it Procom Plus, or what was it called? Huh, that's a long time ago. But, yeah, so I've seen plenty. And given that my master's is in sociology, come on now. You know, my degrees are in psychology and sociology, so I have a clue. Yeah. But they're not going to figure it out. I mean, it's going to be rare that they do figure it out. But, and even if they do, these are people who've been, I'm just guessing, I could be totally wrong. They've been doing it for many years. And I mean, you never know. Is it just some group? You know, some people put themselves together. I know one woman, it was one woman who was that kind, but it was one woman who took her down. Actually, I've known more than one taken down. And then they tend to have to go to other platforms, you know, social media platforms, and they don't do as well. They're kind of forgotten, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to talk to y'all in another video. Bye.